Hey, hey, and welcome back to Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. I guess I'll have to be saying I'll see you guys in a while, 'cause I was convicted today and sentenced to hard time at the Boise State Penitentiary. It's a little dead around here, so we're going to walk around and see what kind of mischief we can get into.
Hey guys, I apologize in advance as I keep referring to this place as the Boise State Penitentiary, but it is in fact the Idaho State Penitentiary in Boise. This, along with the Sam Elliott Burger and Huckleberry Cider, was the highlight of our trip to Boise, so I have saved the best for last. Since we took so much footage here, I have broken it up into 3 videos. This first one will go over the penitentiary as a whole. A future video will talk about the women who were housed here, and the third and final video will talk about 2 specific death row inmates. So a little fun fact about me, I used to work in a prison. Well, 2 actually. I don't know if it's normal to be interested in old prisons or if that's a result of having worked on the inside, but any chance I get to walk behind prison walls, I take it. The Idaho State Penitentiary operated for over 100 years, from 1872 to 1973. During that time, over 13,000 inmates entered its confines. 215 of them were of the female variety. There were 500 escapes, and of those, 90 escapees still remain at large. I talk about one particular escape later on in this video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. There were 129 deaths behind these walls, including 10 executions, which is probably why the Idaho State Penitentiary is known to be quite haunted. Come along with us as we venture inside the Idaho State Penitentiary and leave a comment down below if you've ever been here, and tell me if you also like touring old prisons.
So what you're looking at is a catwalk in through what is now the gift shop. Of course, you go upstairs, and this is how the officers got to work. They would walk along this catwalk, and then they would go to each of the corners, and I believe there was a center one as well, and that was the guard shack over there where they would stand and watch the inmates in the yard. What you're looking at here, this flattened 20-foot area of dirt, it separated the wall from the main yard, and it was referred to as the deadline because inmates were forbidden to set foot here, and if found in the area, an inmate would first receive one verbal warning followed by deadly force. Behind me is what's called the Rose Garden now. It was originally started as a vegetable garden by an inmate, later became a rose garden, but it also served as the site of 6 hangings from 1900 until 1929. And you see the guard tower in the background back there. Welcome to solitary confinement. This is called the cooler, and it has a total of 6 cells that each held 6 inmates at once until finally they realized that was cruel and unusual, so they went down to only 1 per cell. What do you think? Well, I'm 5 feet. It's almost my wingspan. And here, maybe 5 by 8. Yeah, it's about the right size of a cell, but there's no windows. The door would have been solid. It looks like there was a light above the door. I've got my ghost reader on. So it's hard to see because of the snow, but you see the flower there. And this is the grave of Dennis the cat. And this was a cat that was smuggled in to the prison walls by an inmate, and everyone fell in love with the cat. It says it was born in 1952 and he died in 1968. So 15 years, that's pretty long for a cat, I think. But everyone fell in love, including officers and inmates, so they kept him around, and when he died, they buried him here, Dennis the cat.
This building was the original 1870 territorial prison, and then later in 1942 it became the chapel. And sadly, this building was one of the casualties of the 1973 riot, but luckily inmates were able to save the grand piano that was inside the chapel.
Here we are in Building 3 at the Boise State Penitentiary. It was constructed in 1928. Originally, it was a workhouse, but then later, when population got so high, they needed additional cell space. So here you can see some of the cells are single or a single bunk bed, and others, like the one you'll see in just a moment, actually slept 4 people. And people were convicted or did time here for such things as grand larceny, escape, rape, murder. Earlier we saw some women did time here for things like adultery and selling alcohol to a minor and possessing alcohol during Prohibition. This is the first floor, and we're going to go up to the next floor, and it looks like there are a total of 4 floors available. We'll see how high we can get. So here we're at the second floor of Building 3. It's actually the highest they'll let us go. I found out the hard way. Nearly scared me to death when I started up the stairs, and there was actually a face of a prison guard plastered to the ceiling telling me no. It was kind of funny. But this one kind of got my attention. This guy, his crime was burglary in the nighttime, assault with a deadly weapon, and persistent violator of the law. And you see he actually has 2 inmate numbers. So he was a janitor here. After the site closed, he returned, worked as an inmate gardener. While doing that, he stole a shotgun and escaped on a bicycle. He was recaptured and returned to the new prison.
Hey, hey! Hey, when's dinner? Hey, can I get out? It's time to get out. Let me go. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm innocent.
All right, I want you to hang up all your tools, match them up to what's on the line here, and take note, I'm only going to give you new socks and new towels if you give me one to exchange. So come on in, bring your stuff in. This is the laundry room. These are the showers. Make sure, don't drop your soap. Hey, welcome to cell number 3. It's like MTV Cribs, Prison Edition. Come on in. You can see how wide my cell is. I can almost touch, and you can see how close I am, about another foot. And what we do at night, if we gotta use the facilities, if nature calls, we have a little honey bucket we tuck away in the corner here, and then every morning we throw it out in the latrine.
prison experienced 3 major riots over its lifespan, one in 1952, one in 1971, and the final one in 1973, which destroyed the commissary, the dining hall, the chapel, and the 1890 cell house. It was after this final riot that inmates were moved to the nearly completed new Idaho State Correctional Institution. Did you know that the Idaho State Penitentiary inmates had their very own baseball and later softball team? They played other teams throughout the Treasure Valley, and their team name was the Outlaws.
Well, hope you enjoyed visiting me here at my new home. Before you leave, of course, we're going to sit and have a nice picnic on some frozen chairs, so I hope you brought a bucket of chicken. Well, we had a great day here at the Boise State Penitentiary. We hope you enjoyed it. And they are open 7 days a week from 12 noon until 5 p.m. They have Halloween haunts. They have all kinds of fun activities throughout the year. So if you ever find yourself in the general Boise area, I highly recommend you stop on by, pay them a visit, and as always, tell them Wild West Adventures sent you. If you like this video, which, come on, we all admit you did. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed and share with your friends. We are so close to 400. We're really trying to put it over the limit. So in the meantime, I'll catch you on down the trail.